Once, when there were no smartphones, people depended on sending messages via letters through posts. Declared as World Post Day in 1969 to celebrate postal products and services, it played a crucial role in fostering cohesive, inclusive, and connected communities. Now, more than 150 countries celebrate World Post Day in different ways. The day also pushes governments and their postal services to support the development of a digital single postal territory that complements the extensive physical network developed over centuries. Joining us in the studio is the General Manager, EMS Parcel Nigeria, a subsidiary of NIPOST, Abiodun Ogundele. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
And a happy World Post Day.
Yep.
Right. Congratulations, if I may say that.
Thank you very much.
Right, let's begin with understanding the significance of this day as it relates the theme for this year, Together for Trust.
Thank you very much. The Post has been around for a very long time, and it has connected people, businesses over years. Right. In the process, trust has been established. There are some time in history when the postman that is delivering mail on the street is what some people uses as their clock. When the postman is passing, the moment he hears that the postman is passing, he doesn't need to look at his clock. He knows it is 9 o'clock. Right. The trust was established over the years. And it is the same thing that the Post is all over the world now connecting businesses, people, and establishing trust among individuals. Therefore, this year, when we are talking about trust, we are just re-establishing what has been before, and the Post now trying to measure up to that again, despite a lot of assaults here and there. The telephone, text messages, the internet, this and all that.
Reduction of technology.
Exactly. The Post still remain very, very relevant. There are some discussions where somebody, when they hear, they say, where do you work? I work with NIPOST. Somebody will say,
does it still exist?
Does it still exist? Then I will remind him, just a couple of days ago, you collected an item that was sent to you from Germany. You requested for it on the internet. It wasn't the internet that flew it down to you. Okay. It was the Post. So the Post remain relevant all year. So what we are doing, this, and it is not even this year alone, is every year. We try to let people realize that the Post is very, 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 very much around. The idea some people have about the Post actually was going to the post office, buy 50 naira stamp or 250 naira stamp, affix it on the letter and just drop it and go away. Yes. That is the idea a lot of people had about it. And incidentally, I had the same idea before I joined the Post, that the Post does not exist more than the postal agency that was in my town. But the Post goes beyond that. There are some economists in the world now that it is the Post that is promoting that economy. In some countries, the postal service in some countries are even lending money to some national governments.
How come ours hasn't gotten to that level?
Yes, we will get there. Gradually, we will get there. That is where we are going. But you will equally agree with me that some years back, the idea people have about Nigerian postal service is a moribund one. Everybody thought that NIPOST is moribund.
Wasn't it?
It wasn't. It wasn't. And because it wasn't moribund, that is why it is rebounding again. You know, there is leadership and there is leadership. The leadership we are having in NIPOST today, in the last couple of months that the leadership came on board, there have been tremendous improvements. There have been tremendous improvements that make people to realize that, so at last, these people are alive. These people are still there. In those days, in a couple of years back, if I can take you back, NIPOST as an entity, I think since the year 2000 or 2001 or thereabout, NIPOST have not been able to buy interstate delivery trucks on its own. Because the fund was not there. What we were doing was that we were collaborating with private transporters. If you are a private transporter, we invite you, we negotiate, you bring the truck, we will now be paying you every month for the mail that is carried. You brand it in our color and another, but it is not ours. This thing has a lot of issues associated with it. Our people do say that he who pays the piper dictates the tune. The person that gave you the truck can say the truck goes here, the truck doesn't go there. No, it broke down today. There is a driver ran away and all that. But it is the coming. That is why I'm telling you that with the coming of this administration now, we are coming up and people are seeing it. For the first time, NIPOS went ahead and bought trucks on its own.
How many of them?
We have bought 20 trucks now for interstate movement of mail. And we have added additional 100 motorcycles for last mile delivery. The last time we had this was when we were collaborating with another private sector company for the purposes of providing motorcycles for our last mile delivery. But now we are buying motorcycles on our own, branded on our own, controlled by ourselves. That is what the Postmaster General that we are having now, the new management that we are having. Right. Those are things that we are doing to make people realize that we are not dead.
Interesting stuff.
Very much.
That's one thing. You know, yes. Even though you played on moribund, but then NIPOS is not moribund, but then you are rebounding. So I'm trying to make sense out of that. Okay. But the thing is, I've used NIPOS several times, buying things from China, and then it comes down to Lagos, and I get it. But at times, you look for because they are expected to call you when you have your items coming in.
Yes.
And when it comes in, you're expecting that you will be called, but you won't get a message. So how are you going to talk to, work on training your staff to ensure that they handle items correctly so that the items get to what do we call them? Those who solicited for these items who bought these items from different countries.
Thank you very much. I should start, just as I've said before, there is the need for training and retraining of staff every now and then. And that one, though right from the word go, whenever you have an item, it arrives in the post office and it is for you. A text message must be sent to you. In those days, what we do is that we have a card that will come to your house. We drop the card. You will now take the card and come to the office. But now, a text message is sent to you that you have a parcel number, you have an item in the post office, and it will also be indicated there that when you are come with so. If your item has custom duties to be paid on it, it will be indicated there. A text message will be sent to you. NIPOS presently now we have about 10,000 staff. In the process of working, there might be one failure or the other. So the fact that you did not receive that text message, it does not mean that is the norm. No.
But I've had items lost that at the end of the day I won't get it.
Good. You have items lost. Good. Let me tell you this. When you have an item that is coming from United States to America, you have United States Postal Service. And United States Postal Service is all over United States. South Carolina, North Carolina, and all those. Yeah. All of them have post offices there. And when you post an item, let's say in South Carolina, it has to be airlifted to J.F. Kennedy before it can now come to whether it is coming to Nigeria or to South Africa or to there or to this place. Now, when you send an item from there, a lot of things happen. A lot of handlers are there. It is not only in Nigeria alone. When an item is handed over to the post, it is not the postal service staff that will go to the warehouse to sort it out, to pass it through X-ray machine, to put it into pallet, to put it into container, and then move it, and then give it to the airline and all that. It is not the postal staff. They are the ground handling agents. So more often than not, what will happen is that whenever anything happens to anybody's item, of course, the customer does not know that all those people are there working. What the customer knows is USPS.
Yeah. It was
and what the customer knows here also is NIPOST.
Right.
Meanwhile, the infraction might have been committed before it got to us here in Nigeria. Of recent, we have a similar case that one celebrity has sent something, claimed to send something that is of very high value. And he accused us, NIPOST, of taking that item, of pilfering that item. At the end of the day, it was established that it did not happen when it got to Nigeria.
Right. Okay.
It happened before it got here.
Okay, so because we have limited time, let me quickly ask you, how do we celebrate or commemorate a day like this quickly?
Commemorating a day like this is part of the thing that we are doing here.
Right.
Creating awareness to people. Letting people know that the post is more than what we are seeing it to be. You know, information is very, very important. If you don't know that something is important, for instance, a lot of us are holding this handset. Apart from receiving call, send text message, and receiving text message, to some of us, that is the end. So, but when you know that you can do quite a number of things with the same item, then it becomes easier. This is what we are telling our people. The post is more than what we are looking at. And incidentally, presently now, the management is collaborating with agencies of the government to do a lot of things, including the addressing system. That is one of the major things that this management is pursuing critically, addressing system. And you will agree with me that when this is in place, crime will reduce, it becomes easier to access services, it becomes easier for the government itself to provide services for people and getting paid for it. And then the same thing in the post as well, in our post offices that are there, you can use the post office, any business can use the post offices as contact point. There are a lot of micro, medium, small-scale enterprises who doesn't even have any offices at all. But they must function, they must operate. You can use the post office as your contact point.
Postal codes and all of that.
Postal code, post office box, everything are there. You can, but a lot of people doesn't know this. So we celebrate the One Post Day by bringing up all these kind of things and letting people know. You know, we have this global brand, EMS Parcel Nigeria. That EMS logo that you see, that is the EMS logo that is being used in the 192 countries of the Universal Postal Union. So wherever you see that logo, you can easily go in there and transact business on EMS. So those are some of the things that we are trying to do to letting people know that we are celebrating World Post Day. And we also participate in, these are some of the things we also try to do when there are exhibitions. We go there as well, we distribute leaflets, we let people know. One thing is that it's a little bit difficult. When people have created an impression, it's a little bit difficult to take it, to let them know that this is not what it is.
What you're trying to do now is to change that perception.
We are changing that perception, and I will really be happy with the TVC management if they can assist us.
That's what we just did, inviting you to come and talk about it. All right, and that's a fine place to leave this conversation. Abiodun Gundele, General Manager, EMS Parcel Nigeria, a subsidiary of NIPOST, for your time on the program. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.